What is going on, everybody? Gamers going back here today with your NFL playoff predictions. Now, you see the mood's a little sour. Oregon lost to Indiana last night. I'm feeling better about my Bears than I did going into that Indiana game. The Indiana game, I was like, it's always going to be a tough one. Indiana's probably going to win, but I'm rooting for my Ducks. This Bears game, I got full confidence in. But let's get into playoffs. Talk about the playoffs. Um, let's get into it. We have we're gonna go about picking each game. We're gonna go first AFC, then we're gonna go the NFC, and then obviously gets to our divisional round, then our Super Bowl champion. First game, Chargers versus the Patriots. The Chargers, in my opinion, have been kind of limping along. They haven't been too impressive, and then you got the potential MVP in Drake May right now, playing excellent football. I just think the Patriots have too many answers offensively that you're kind of just praying, if you're a Chargers fan, that Justin Herbert does one of those like 300, 400-yard games, keeps you in it, has a Justin Herbert-esque performance, which we haven't seen happen in the playoffs really. So I got to pick the Patriots. It's a pretty simple pick there for me. I don't have much faith in the Chargers defense stopping Drake May. I don't have much faith in the Chargers being able to keep up with what potentially can happen for the Patriots offense. The Patriots look like they could be in the beginning stages of starting yet another dynasty. Drake May, obviously, a very good pick for them. Next, we get to the Bills versus the Jaguars. Um, the Jaguars, obviously, one of the feel good stories of this season. They've really made their mark with Trevor Lawrence stepping up and becoming a dual threat quarterback, and then getting rushing touchdowns left and right. Jacoby Myers, since adding him, they have continued to improve offensively. Travis Etienne with a resurgence year as well. Um, but that's not where it all stops there for the Jaguars. The Jaguars defensively, one of the better teams, getting takeaways, kind of opportunistic there. Something that I did not expect to see out of the Jaguars this year. It's been a pleasant surprise. And then you got the Bills. Obviously, the Bills, obviously, one of those teams that always is like, well, they could win a Super Bowl, but they just haven't. They have the pieces. They have Josh Allen. And when you have Josh Allen, I think you have a chance. I look at these two teams in this matchup, and I even though the Jaguars are the higher seed of the bunch, I still am leaning towards the Bills in this one. The defense of the Bills aren't great. They're not great. The offense at times has gone stagnant, but when it comes to the playoffs, I think experience matters to an extent. And Josh Allen has had good experience, not just oh, he's been in the playoffs a few times. No, Josh Allen has went. I think they made it to the conference championship. He's dealt with the trials and tribulations. It's not like he's played horrible in the playoffs. So they just can't get over the hump. The Jaguars. This is one of their first rodeos in a while. I tend to trust James Cook. I tend to trust Josh Allen. The receivers there with the Bills are kind of sketchy. I think this could be a game that ends up becoming a shootout. First team to 35, first team to 40 type of game. Like, I don't think this is going to be, for the defensive folk out there, I think that this is going to be a high score because the Jaguars can put up points quickly, and the Bills hypothetically can as well. But the Bills kind of been a little underwhelming this season, so it wouldn't be shocking if the Bills lose, but I'm picking the Bills to win. I got a good feeling about them. Next, we get to the Texans versus the Steelers, and this one is a complete 50-50 ball for me. I think the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers are good enough to win the division, obviously, but I don't think they're that good. The Steelers and the Ravens, by the way, were playing for the last spot in the playoffs, right? You look at the 2-4 seeds, the Steelers limped along and managed to make the playoffs because they were in a weak division. Same thing with the Panthers, right? They managed to get there because they were in a weak division. The Texans have kind of been up and down. I think the Texans' best football is better than the Steelers' best football, but the Texans also have shown kind of some susceptibility to be having hiccups and not really looking the best out there. But I do think ultimately I got to pick the Texans here to win on the road. I like their team more. I don't know how many answers the Steelers will have for the weapons on the Texans offense. If you can get C.J. Stroud going with Nico Collins, Higgins is coming around. You got Woody Marks in the mix. I'm not sure which other running backs are going to be healthy for this game, but those are really the main playmakers right now for the Texans. And then defensively, you gotta think that the Texans will be able to stop and kind of put some pressure on old man Aaron Rodgers. So I'm taking the Texans to beat not the Patriots, but to beat the Steelers in that one. Next, we get to the Green Bay Packers versus the Bears. My game of the playoffs. This is the biggest game for both teams, right? Like, I don't think there's a higher stakes game in the first round than this game right here. And that's because Bears Packers, obviously a big rivalry. Season split 1-1. You look at the first game, right? Late game interception. The Bears had a chance to win it. You look at the second game, the Bears pull off a miracle and win it at home. So far, each team's won at home. You got one team right now with Jordan Love returning from injury. By the way, that was not an illegal hit. I don't care what anybody says about the Austin Booker hit. It was not illegal. When you're a quarterback and you dip your head, guess what? You're going to get a concussion when you're getting sacked. I mean, it's the unfortunate reality of football, but at the end of the day, it's football. So, whoever fined Booker, you need to take it back. You need to give him his money back because that was an absolutely ridiculous call. But we're not going to talk about the DJ Moore call, where Keyshawn Nixon just blatantly hits him. DJ Moore's got his back turned, not even part of the play, right? So there's some bad blood between these two. There will always be bad blood between these two. You'll hear this comment come up time and time again throughout the game and throughout the offseason, especially if the Bears lose. This will be a comment that gets brought up a lot. If they win, I don't imagine Bears fans won't be playing the clip either. So this comment right here is going to be the comment that you're going to hear for the next few weeks or few days after this game. Ben Johnson said he likes beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. This is his chance to beat him twice a year. You got one side, Jordan Love returning. The Bears have had some struggles in the secondary covering the faster receivers in the league. The Packers got a few of them, right? Golden. They got Reed. They got Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. They probably won't have Dontavian Wicks. The Bears, they are also kind of in an interesting situation, right? Nashawn Wright came on to be really good, one of the heroes of forcing a fumble against the Packers last time out. You have Jalen Johnson, who hasn't really been playing well since returning. Then you have Kyler Gordon potentially returning in this game. He is, I believe, still a game time decision. You have Zoff Frazier saying he's medically cleared, one of the faster players in last year's draft. Does he get a crack at things? Either way, though. Either way, this is going to be a game that comes down to the wire. Bears Packers always come down to the wire, and one side has the Iceman and one side doesn't. One side's playing at home and one side doesn't. At the end of the day, I'm rocking with my guys. I'm picking the Bears. Go win this football game. Bear down. We're beating the Packers. Next, we get San Francisco versus the Eagles. The Eagles, yet another team that's kind of been sputtering along enough to win their division, but not a team that's been particularly impressive to me. The Bears handled business when they played them. The Eagles kind of just haven't really gotten Saquon going much. At times, A.J. Brown's kind of struggled to get going. Just not a pretty season for them. And then you get the San Francisco 49ers, who I think are playing great football at the moment. You have Brock Purdy playing some of the best football of his career right now. You have CMC healthy. You had the receiving core starting to get a little bit more healthy. The defense, hey, I don't know if it's going to happen, but they're kind of making it sound like maybe Fred Warner will play in one of these playoff games. Give him some time. I'm taking the 49ers to win. Don't think Fred Warner plays in this game, but that we might see him later on. Next, we get the Rams versus the Panthers. This is a game the Panthers won earlier in the year. Surprise, surprise, right? Like, this Panthers team is above schedule. Nobody expected them to be here, yet they're here. They had to have some miracle happen in the Falcons game for them to be here, but guess what? There was a miracle, and I think their miracles are running out because the Rams are a significantly better football team. I know the Panthers beat them last time around. If I'm the Rams, are we really gonna let them stop Puka? Are we really gonna let the Panthers of all teams stop Puka Nacua? Oh, by the way, the Bears could end up playing the Panthers there, but I think the Bears will end up playing the Rams. Next, we get back to the AFC. We get the Bills versus the Broncos. The Bills, like I said, been there, done that. They've been through this scenario before. The Broncos, the best team in football at the moment. Their defense at the Broncos, I think, matches up real well against Josh Allen. They'll be right for that game, and then it's just going to be a matter of not who can win the low scoring 17-14 type of games, which I gotta trust the Broncos. Bo Nix playing great, running the ball well. Doesn't make too many mistakes, just absolutely playing the position to perfection at the moment, right? Cortland Sutton getting involved. You have Troy Franklin coming around. You have Pat Bryant, who was hurt recently, but he's been coming around for them. Evan Ingram has his moments. You got a rookie running back in Harvey that's been really solid for you down the stretch. The Broncos, I think, just are playing at a level of football that I don't know that anybody in the league can match, yet alone a team right now in the Bills that kind of has been hit or miss. Next, you get to the Texans and the Patriots, and I think this one's pretty much chalk. The Patriots, like I said, I think they're a really good offense. I think their defense can give them chances to win games. C.J. Stroud at times has made mistakes. I think it's going to be a tough matchup. I think it's going to be a close game. Nico Collins is going to be a tough task for Christian Gonzalez, but at the end of the day, the Patriots are going to win that one. Then we get to the 49ers versus the Seahawks. This is another one, right? Another conference game. The Seahawks have had some success against the 49ers this season. Obviously, you know Sam Darnold's been playing well. The Seahawks are going to go get the ball to JSN. This time around, though, I feel it's different. Brock Purdy playing great football at the moment. The Seahawks have had some success, but I'm taking the 49ers to beat the Seahawks. And then we get the Rams versus the Bears. My head's telling me the Rams. My heart's telling me the Bears for obvious reasons. Last time around, I don't even think there was a last time around. They didn't play, did they? I don't remember if they played the Rams or which team from California did they play? I know they played the 49ers. Did they play the Rams? I think they might have played the Rams. What game am I thinking of? No, they didn't play the Rams. I think it was just the 49ers. Yep. It was just the 49ers. But either way, I think the Rams, once again, pose a unique challenge to the Bears. The Bears' corners haven't been particularly great. Nahshon Wright, kind of an opportunistic turnover machine. But I still think Puka is one tough task. But at the end of the day, this is a game being played in Chicago. If you can hang around with the 49ers, can you hang around with the Rams? That's the question. I got to go with my heart instead of my head. I'm going to go with my head. I'm going to say the Bears run comes to an end here. I want the Bears to win. I hope they win, but I'm going to go with the smart decision. I just don't know that they have anybody that can stop Puka Nacua. Then we get to the Patriots versus the Broncos. Like I said, I think these are probably the two best teams in football right now. Really do. I think both the AFC teams are the best. Their 1 and 2 is better than the NFC's 1 and 2. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm trying to think of down the roster, right? This is 2 quarterbacks drafted last year. Bo Nix, Drake May, obviously. I think this game comes down to defense, believe it or not. I think it's going to come down to defense. And if I'm going down to a game of defense, I got to take the Broncos to win it. I think the Broncos defense is the best defense in football. I got to take them. Don't love it, but I got to take them. And then we get to the 49ers versus the Rams. That's an interesting one. That's going to be a fun one. It's going to be high scoring. I think I trust Matt Stafford to get it done. I think I trust Matt Stafford to get the job done there. And with that being said, we get to our Super Bowl, Rams versus Broncos. I've said I don't know who can match up against Puka. Guess what? Pat Surtain can. This Broncos defense can. Okay. I did not mean to press the Rams. We're taking the Broncos. We're taking the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. Anyways, thank you all for watching. We are not rocking with the Broncos necessarily. I got my Bo Nix jersey over there because obviously went to Oregon, but rocking with the Bears, obviously. But I think the Broncos are probably going to be the Super Bowl champions. Anyways, let me know down below who you got winning the Super Bowl. Are you a believer in the Panthers winning the Super Bowl? Are you a believer in the Packers? Are you a believer in the Steelers? Just let me know down below. At the end of the day, we're all here just to watch some good old-fashioned college football playoffs. Well, not college football playoffs. I just watched that and that was miserable. NFL playoffs. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.